Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Boom.
Welcome everyone to the new and improved Memery hole. We've actually done preparation. So,
Wow.
Yeah, there was
some
homework.
of us have done preparation.
Spent the whole weekend prepping.
Yeah, we thought that the old
Getting my
format
memes
was getting
ready.
a little stale because we were just covering mostly COVID nonsense, which was really annoying, and leftist hypocrisy. So we've picked some current topics we wanted to talk about, and we've got one slide of old memes, just to keep the old flavour a little bit. So should we do those first?
Keep true to ourselves.
Lest you not forget us. Yeah, lest you not forget what we had to endure last year.
Yeah, those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it.
Remember this? Apparently they dragged me on Twitter. I don't give a fuck because Twitter is not a real place.
Was this one of the best memes of this time last year?
Well, it kind of went with the Dave Chappelle's Closest stand-up special performing much better with the audience than Fauci, the documentary.
Actually, the documentary. Fucking hell. How far up your own ass do you have to be? Mind you, this, again, just to reiterate, this was filmed during the actual pandemic. So, Dr. Fauci was with one hand signing some kind of, decree about the vaccine, the injections, and then with the second fucking doing makeup, posing for the cameras. Incredible. Incredible.
He's just like a little gremlin man, isn't he?
I am the science.
And did you see the oh, you might have even sent it to me. Oh no. Footage of him from like way back when they're asking him about flu, and he said basically the best way to get immunity against flu is to just go through the infection.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of his best bits, I reckon.
But she's had the flu for 14 days. Should she get a flu shot?
Well, no. If she got the flu for 14 days, she's as protected as anybody can be, because the best vaccination is to get infected yourself.
And
So
she should not get it?
if she really has the flu, she definitely doesn't need a flu vaccine. If she really has the flu,
She should not get it again?
no, she doesn't need it, because it's the most potent vaccination is getting infected yourself.
No. Surely a jest, Dr. Fauci.
If she
That's,
really has the flu.
That's why I just never say anything about anything, because eventually you're gonna find out it was wrong, and you're gonna have to apologize about it. So just best keep your head down.
When have you ever kept your head down?
Dr. Fauci. As if he's ever going to apologize. He's just say the science has changed.
Yeah, true. What about
Nice.
what about the speed of science? That was this week. Or it was the week before. The Pfizer woman talking to the EU.
Was it
the
the UN?
Parliament.
It was the
Well,
UN.
Was it the UN?
I think so.
And saying that they were working at the speed of science. So, like, whatever that means it's okay to not have done all the necessary checks.
But also at the same time, I think it was Pfizer, one of the Pfizer bigwigs, may very well have been the CEO, who just straight up said that, yeah, in the clinical trials, they weren't really testing if the Jabberino slows the infection, not the infection, transmission rate. So all this bullshit about the virus stopping as soon as it encounters a person who's had the needle work done to them, all of that is nonsense. They weren't testing that when they were doing trials.
Yeah, and that was such a psychological tool, pressure
I do
tool
wonder.
to use, and it wasn't even true.
And I do wonder if for their lying, they're going to be slapped with a $1 billion fine. After all, it's very bad to lie to the public. I've been reliably informed.
He just thought that guy laughing after the kid got shot was weird. That was like the main thing, wasn't it? That was what that.
Anyway, do you think drive-through masked strippers is a sign that we're living in the cyberpunk dystopia?
More importantly, though, do you think that person's got a penis?
Done. Which one? On the poll.
The one on the poll.
Let's have a look.
Zoom in.
Oh, you want me to enhance?
Yeah.
CSI. Zoom in, enhance.
I'm gonna go with that's female.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, the opposite.
Yeah, I think I'll also go with yeah.
I can tell by the ribs.
Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
I mean, I did say no COVID, and I've given a lot of COVID ones. Do you remember this little little doozy?
Oh yeah, that's not a real person. But that I can attest for sure does not have a penis.
They actually came and admitted that one, though, I think. You know, the basic thing of, oh,
They're
well...
running out of real patience. They decided to do a little photo montage.
Yeah, I enjoyed this one as well. The Happy Otoya Yamaguchi Day, everyone. On this day, October 12th in 1960, Otoya Yamaguchi took out the leader of the Socialist Party of Japan on live TV with a samurai sword, and communism never had a chance to take root in any meaningful way in Japan.
Hey,
I like that story, but I feel like it's not that. I reckon there would have been like a whole arc of people who felt like they had to avenge him and would come back stronger.
yeah, I think yeah, it's a cultural difference, though. You know, maybe the people saw that ultimately the Socialist Party is quite weak if one of the leaders can just get bonged live on camera in front
Yeah.
of thousands of people.
Yeah.
So they decided they don't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, their former, quote, fascist leader, far-right leader, Abe, was taken out earlier this year, right?
Yeah,
the
with that, like,
So
the
Otoya
homemade gun.
Yamaguchi,
Huh?
that's true, but Otoya Yamaguchi was actually described as an ultra-nationalist, which is interesting because I don't know when it became fashionable to stick the prefix ultra in front of things that probably don't deserve them.
There's a nationalist bar here in Fukuoka that people like dress up with like proper Nazi uniforms and stuff, and they sing like Nazi songs and stuff. Like one of the people who like wrote a lot of
No.
Hitler's songs was some guy from Kyushu.
what?
No, I refuse to believe that. No,
there is.
no,
There's
no,
a place you can go and you can wear SS uniforms. They're like girl bars. So they have these things in Japan, girl bars, where you pay like 3,000 yen, and you like can drink as much as you want, and like girls will talk to you. It's basically a strip club where it's like more focused on the talking to each other. But there's a themed one where you can dress up in Nazi uniforms and stuff.
Have you been there yet?
No, I would like to go there just to see what the
Yeah.
business is.
Yeah, definitely. Right. That sounds like something out of nonsense. This sounds amazing.
That's right. Just dressing in blue and yellow. You just say, "Oh yeah, I'm one of the new ones. I'm one of the Azov guys."
What the Los Angeles Times magazine predicted LA would look like in April 1988 versus what LA actually looks like today. Progress is a lie.
I am reminded of those photos that show sort of Hiroshima, Nagasaki, 1945, and then Detroit, 1945, then Detroit today, and Hiroshima, Nagasaki today, and it's basically like almost like they swap places.
All our faces swap our places. Okay, let's fast forward to this week. I hate this like TikTok trends, like when he's a 10, but I never watched them. I just see it. I
But
see
he
that
still
when
doesn't
he's
know
a
what
10.
happened to Building 7.
He accidentally got my mom pregnant when I was out of town, and they are keeping it. So now I don't know if he's my boyfriend or stepdad.
Like, I feel like she doesn't mind.
Can gingers be 10?
When he's
though?
a 10, but he doesn't know. When he's a 10, but he doesn't know that Jamal Khashoggi was related to the guy that Princess Diana had an affair with. Yeah.
Okay, so this bottom left one, this
so-
grasshopper guy. You said you went down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, so basically there was like huge sweet corns and huge like squirrels in like the 1800s, and they're hiding it from us and feeding us this shit small stuff.
Sure.
How deep
I
was
mean-
this rabbit hole? It feels pretty shallow. You
I
tell me
gotta
more.
say, just looking at this photo, I can see that the grasshopper doesn't have the same kind of texture as the rest. Like I would be pretty confident this is Photoshop, because the grasshopper doesn't have the same, I guess, tint as the guy.
Some of it was like remotely good, some of the video stuff, but it's just like you couldn't trust anything of that caliber now since like 10 years ago, right? It was so easily made up after a certain point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically that we're being lied to, that stuff is this small. I didn't see any reason why. It was just photos of big stuff and videos of big stuff. There wasn't any like explanation.
They're hiding it from us because
yeah, even those guys are hiding it.
I was gonna say they're hiding it from us because they don't want us to find out they can feed the whole planet with gigantic bugs.
Yeah, and they don't want to tell us just because
Hashtag the
they
Great
like
Reset.
they like knowing.
Would you eat the bugs if they were like large like that? I feel like they'd have like quite juicy
Absolutely
meat.
fucking not.
You eat lobster,
Absolutely
right?
fucking not. No, but that's different. No, you ain't getting me with that. No, that's different.
That's like the only
I'd be
argument that
closer to
remotely
like,
works.
yeah, I'd be closer to wielding that grasshopper as a weapon than I would be to eating it.
What, as a live one, or that you train, or just like smacking someone around the head with its carcass?
No, it's a truncheon. It's a truncheon. Yeah. Like, have you ever slapped someone with a fish?
No, I can't say.
Not that I ever have. But, no, me neither. But how would you imagine what it would be like to slap someone with a fish? Because like you see it done, like it's almost a trope in slapstick comedy, right? Someone grabbing a fish and slapping someone else across the face with a fish.
Yeah.
Sometimes when the fish is a bit bigger, you can actually certainly like hear a satisfying sound, right? And so it kind of makes you think, well, what would it be like to actually slap someone in the face with a fish?
We should just get that
I
for
guess
each
we'll
of our
never know.
birthdays. We could each slap each other in the face with a fish, like a little relay thing.
Speaking of bug eaters, let's check out this Chinese martial artist.
哎，行，张美丽干什么呢？这是练啥功夫呢？
练腿呢？
呦，我跟哪儿学的呀？来，跟我来一下子，来，打我，踢我！
先生，我不好意思踢
你命令你踢我，
到时候踢伤了。
自愿的，来吧，脑袋瓜给你。
那我给你来个360啊
！360来吧。
That, kids, is why you never attempt a spinning kick unless you like absolutely sure that you're gonna nail it. Never give your back to your opponent, even if it's for a split second that it takes you to do a spinning kick. Unless you're Joe Rogan.
Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern caught.
No doubt she was celebrating the 12th of October. A boozy celebration.
How long does it take for her to clean her teeth every morning, do you reckon?
You'll be right. You look, you probably had a shot over there.
I reckon she doesn't sleep.
Okay. Sweet mustache.
Sweet mustache.
Got milk?
You've got a mustache. I know.
But would that enhance? Would you be doing loads of Chang when you're when you're doing all that shit. Really.
Yeah.
When you're doing what kind of
Hitler, Hitler was on it.
The only question is, would it enhance the mRNA? They're the only boost they really need.
Have they found any like positive effects of this whole jab yet? Is there any like little surprise positives?
Of what?
I don't know.
but
Like all side effects always seem to be bad. Is there any like good side effects?
no. If there were, they would be like talking non-stop about it 24/7 in the media about how, some kid got plus 50 IQ points after getting the booster.
They could just they could lie about that. They could just make that
24/7.
up. Just be like, yeah, it makes you happier. And we've got this new measurement that shows that. And yeah, it just makes you happier actually.
It makes you happy on average because all the unhappy people keep offing themselves.
Keep getting offed, yeah.
I'm finally rich. How crypto made me rich. I need your help a year later.
Is he saying I need your help because Frank Castle is knocking at his door again?
He's just had to go into hiding. Look, he's got that like Saddam Hussein beard.
Yeah, I'm pretty pissed off. Like this Bitcoin number go up technology. It's not been going up for about a year now.
10x.
Well, now everyone's saying XRP is the next 10x. Buy XRP, it'll be worth £5 any day now.
Just gotta wait for this next halving. And if it doesn't go up, then I don't believe it anymore. We shall see. Hasan Piker has a blog where he called himself the Brofessor. Talks about being an alpha male and pornography before he put on the leftist persona to stream on Twitch. Andrew Tate is such a misogynist while calling women sluts who crave attention.
He just looks like such a Steven Crowder bro.
The Constitution!
Really insecure.
Changed my mind.
It would be a real shame if people started walking up to Hasan Piker and asking him when he's going to fight Sam Hyde.
Oh yeah, this was like that dystopian stuff where you're just like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Whoever came up with that one, where they're burning the aunt. No, burning the aunt. They're burning Hitler's art. And also some Picasso and also some Eric Gillen there, and they're putting its fate to the studio audience. And Jimmy Carr will burn it.
Why were people... I saw articles saying people were pissed off. Like, what aspect was pissing them off?
Well, I suppose a lot of people would want a Picasso and wouldn't want it to be burnt, I guess. Or like, whatever.
Oh, so they've basically
no one's going to be like, oh, the Hitler one.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, they've gone for the clickbait thing where people are pissed off and they've chosen to put Hitler in the title to make it look like people are pissed off they're burning Hitler when it's actually not.
That did make me read it. And then it turned out there was also loads of other art on the table as well. It was like, oh shit, who came up with this burn list? But
then they had all these new activists, right, that were destroying art again, these climate activists. They just couldn't wait for the series.
Yeah, I was going to say, is anyone going to bring up the fact that climate activists decided to just pour soup on a Van Gogh painting?
Yeah, and we didn't let them do that, so now they're going to burn ours.
I mean, if
like,
I was just say for Rose here,
I kind of want to go back to.
He's convinced that these people are like, plants, MI6. It's all psyop stuff. There's no way someone's been allowed to do. There's no way someone would be allowed to do that unless some secret service is involved in. Basically, he has on good authority that all these climate activist things in the UK are all infiltrated by secret services, and it's how they get into these positions.
I don't doubt, but the question is, what would be MI5's ultimate goal in you draw me the arrow from
Well,
you
it's
know, Van
quite
Gogh's painting gets vandalized? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
it
Profit.
it justifies the decline. It's a nice story. It's a virtuous reason to give up on your worldly possessions and go back into the dark ages. It's a good way of managing expectations, but also celebrating the decline because you're doing it because of some big boogeyman or whatever.
It serves
I
them
think-
wrong.
Yeah, sure, but like the replies on, for instance, on Twitter were incredibly negative. Like people are saying, basically, the line is, I'm all in favor of fighting global warming, but this kind of stuff really, I guess, gets me negatively predisposed towards these kinds of activists, and ultimately, I guess, sours my view of climate activism.
That's the
And
point, though.
so-
I think the function is to have this crazy fringe, which makes the government's also quite insane policies seem sane in comparison to it. I think that's the function.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, these climate activists are so mental, but look, the government's investing money in wind turbines. So that seems like a sane, reasonable thing, even though it probably isn't.
Yeah. It's setting up those guardrails to shepherd you along.
Also, it distracts.
Sure.
It's a story for distraction, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of feel like we should go back to the era where like art was exclusively held in like private collections of rich people, and then it's ultimately up to them whether they want to like show it to the public or not, because it's becoming increasingly obvious that the public just can't be trusted with art, right? And this might be a controversial opinion, but I honestly think art was better, and curation of art was better when it was basically all done in the hands of the Austrian monarchs. And this is a hill that I'm reasonably willing to die on.
It also makes you think like that whole thing of well, we're not going to give back these things because actually we do a better job of looking after them anyway. And if they were in their respective place, you'd be like, no, it completely derails that whole argument.
Yeah, if I were Egypt right now, or if I were all those, like, I guess North African countries that have artifacts from the Egyptian Empire, as well as some Middle Eastern countries that have artifacts from for instance, the Empire of Akkad, should immediately say we don't feel like these artifacts are safe in your possessions, given all the waves of climate activists vandalizing shit. I think we should be moved somewhere safe, like say for instance here.
Yeah.
You're completely right.
It's the biggest argument as well, isn't it? Because preservation is like the end goal of that. So
yeah.
Yeah, the Dark Lord has his fingers all over this one as well, because it was Labour's policy when Tony Blair was in power to make all museums free. So.
Fuck. Of course. Everything can be traced back to Tony Blair. Literally, it's incredible how everything.
All roads lead to Tony.
Yeah, I mean, so the one conspiracy theory that AA is kind of propagating is that Tony Blair is now sorry for how badly he wrecked the country, and he wants to get back in politics to like repair it, because he's got a lot of political capital. He knows how to wield power. So the quote unquote based Blair meme is that he's gonna get through power either directly or indirectly by like controlling Keir Starmer, and he's gonna like put the country back on the right track and get rid of all the horrible Blair policies that he put in the first place.
It's like some sort of Christmas Carol sort of vibe.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a mega code.
It's been visited by 3 ghosts.
Yeah.
Iraq.
Just the ghosts of all the dead Iraqi children came to him in a dream.
Yeah. Do you reckon there's like a proper sliding doors moment like series you could do, where you could do Blair now in 2022 as we live it, and then another one where when he was a kid he decided instead to become a baker, and now he has like a successful bakers in Rotherham, and all the daughters play in the playgrounds around there. And that's the 2 comparison worlds. But he decided instead to be a baker, and everything was safe and nice, or this one.
I was gonna say it's like the intro to Red Alert. But like instead of Einstein, instead of going to like 1930s Germany, decides to go to like 1990s Britain, decides to shake Tony Blair's hand. Then fast forward to today, Britain's like the #1 country economically, a powerhouse, super cheap energy, super cheap housing, plentiful,
Be safe.
highest standard of living and education, lowest
Yeah.
crime rate.
Not burning up for entertainment.
Gaming can be deadly for
Yeah,
children.
highest quality of museum.
Action-packed missions might kickstart life-threatening arrhythmias in kids with undiagnosed heart issues, study suggests.
Funny how this wasn't an issue like 20 years ago or 25 years ago. I mean, video games are almost 30 years old now, maybe even older.
My mum would basically tell me that to get me off
40
of it
years
when I
old.
was a kid. You're gonna die.
How come nobody got a heart attack playing Pong in the 1980s? Like, how come arcades that had Pac-Man didn't have to have a warning? By the way, your kid might start seizing at any moment. You know.
Wasn't there a big thing about like Pac-Man though, like putting people onto ecstasy and stuff? Because
What? Okay, I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
because he's eating
is that
little
a
pills,
conspiracy?
isn't he? He's a little pill popper.
That's why I got into it.
You went into a little Jacinda bender after playing Pac-Man.
Sinkholes in Siberia compared to a laser ablation. Made this big.
So I'm not really sure what this is meant to show us, because like it kind
Me
of reminds
neither.
me of
That
this
was
image
part of that rabbit
like,
hole. But there was no explanation given to it.
but it's like one of those images that like showed us an image of like a gas cloud in space with like galaxies, and then like an image of like zoomed in neurons. And the idea was that they look so reminiscent, and there's some kind of connection. They're not reminiscent.
Yeah.
They're so similar to one another. There must be some kind of connection. Is this the same on the same kind of line? That like very precise cylindrical ablation. I mean, couldn't the sinkhole just been like done by a geyser and that's it?
I don't know, but
Like,
I've read the
jet
top
of water?
text and it says arrangement and text added by Mike Ferreira from Ancient Minor Earth. So I'm in my mind I was thinking this was like some kind of USA technology that they're using against the
Leave
Russians.
miners out of this, you fucking nonce.
But now I'm thinking that it's one of these ancient alien technology people who thinks that all these sinkholes were created by ancient technology where they would mine into the earth using lasers.
So one of those actually on that line, there was a conspiracy theory that the only reason that humans value gold and silver is because in ancient times where aliens would regularly visit us, they needed gold and silver as a catalyst for their ships. And so, they would tell the very first humans, 30,000 or 40,000, 50,000 years or 100,000 years ago to mine gold and silver because they needed large quantities of gold and silver to use as catalysts for their spaceships. And that's why humans learned that gold and silver are valuable, not for any other reasons. And, that tradition is carried on until today. And that's the only reason why we value gold and silver. Because there is no other, there isn't any other reason why human beings would value gold and silver.
Is it not like scarcity or whatever?
It's because mostly it's because it holds value over time. Because of its physical properties, it doesn't degrade easily like things like copper, which rust, and if they're just sitting there, they lose value.
Jamie, pull up the gold to USD chart. In fact, it's the GLD to USD, paper gold. Yeah, not looking too great. It's been holding value, but in the other direction.
Can you send?
So, I can been inversely holding value. Let's see.
I think nowadays gold loses value because it's now a commodity and used in as an industrial metal. So that means the gold isn't being stored as value, but being used in practical means. So you change the supply.
I'm just checking that HOVIS price.
Yeah, I think we need a new measure because they're just.
What if,
you're
what
right.
if
We do
times
need a
are
new
so
measure.
bad that they just can't update their web page? And what if it's like £9 in the shop?
So this is the 6-month gold chart that I just pasted in the group chat. Rather in the meeting chat.
Fuck's sake.
So real American patriots have fact-checked your claim and determined it to be false.
Which claim? That it holds value.
That the gold holds value. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I guess if you zoom out to like 5 years, then yeah, it has been holding value reasonably well until certain events happening 2 years ago.
Well, its value's
when
been compared to the
everything
US
went
dollar,
haywire.
which is
But that's another thing. Yeah.
complete fiat. So
If you look at, I guess you're right. In fact, I would say gold to oil ratio. Oh no, because oil has been going bad as well, so it's gonna have to be something else. What about gold to silver ratio? Well, no, but silver's susceptible to manipulations. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find you a chart. Sorry, not today.
oh well.
Not today.
Okay.
I guess the theory about it being used as a catalyst for speculation is correct. It's a shitty store of value. Looking at these charts, there you go. Aliens.
Oh,
See
and-
that, like, aliens just baby owls, aren't they? You seen that? Search baby owl
No.
alien. And there's like a whole theory that people just saw baby owls, and that's why you think of aliens as those sort of Martians with the big black eyes.
These guys.
Yeah.
Oh, that is terrifying. What is that?
Owls.
Baby owls?
Yeah.
That is terrifying. Why are they standing like that?
So they think about they think that these people that people have just seen these at nighttime.
This is literally they're literally doing the me and my girlfriend would like to buy you a drink. Bloody hell, this is terrifying.
Maybe in your sick head, you weirdo.
Are you sure the aliens didn't look like this?
Okay, we got a sign. We got something here that we got to blur out and post. We got the symbol of the Ukrainian Hindus.
Let's move on. So, have
Alright.
either of you watched the DAHMER series?
No, but
Nope.
it's the gay thing, isn't it? Apparently.
Yeah. Wow, queer character's amazing. Okay, first, why does it matter if he's gay? I mean, it kind of matters to the plot. Do you know much about Jeffrey Dahmer, or do you want me to get your little backstory?
Yeah, give us an elevator pitch on Jeffrey Dahmer.
So Jeffrey Dahmer was basically this,
Walking along.
walking along. He was his parents used to argue all the time, and he felt quite, I guess, a lot of abandonment issues. But like when he was sort of 17, 18, he would have these. Actually, no, I should go back. He would like with his dad. The only thing they really bonded over was like picking up like roadkill and like dissecting it and looking at all the bits inside and things like that. So he had kind of this fascination with dead animal bodies. But then
time with your dad, fucking hell.
But then when he was about 17, 18, he used to fantasize about this jogger that would come along, and he'd fantasize about him shirtless and like basically completely dominating him and like dominating him sexually and things. But then one day he came across like some guy who was hitchhiking, wanted to go to a concert, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to come back to mine? I've got some weed and some some booze before you go, and he's like, sure. And then they're working out and stuff. He was dead into bodybuilding. And then he basically comes onto the guy. He's not in for it, 'cause he's like the 70s, where gay people are still pretty looked down upon in society. And he beats him around the back of the head with a barbell. Dumbbell, sorry, not barbell. That'd be pretty impressive. Just one-handed barbell. Kills him. And then that's like the first time. And then like 9 years later, he goes in the army.
And then he's gay, isn't he? That's the big twist. He's gay.
But then he didn't kill anyone for a long time. But then he goes to this like gay club, picks up some guy he likes, and then no intention of killing him. But then he would drug people because he didn't want them to leave, and he ends up waking up in the morning and there's just like blood everywhere. Doesn't remember killing this guy. And then a number of years later, he basically these urges like get worse and worse. He like ends up living with his grandmother and like bringing guys back and like burying them under the house after he's killed them, and she doesn't know what's going on. And he's experimenting with like dissolving their bodies in various acids and burning them and bleaching the skulls. And he started like keeping parts of them. Like the psychology, I guess, is that like he had abandonment issues and people would leave him, so he was like trying to keep a hold of them. And then it gets worse and worse to the point where he has to move out of his grandma's house, and he moves into this like pretty poor like black neighborhood, and he's just like drugging people, bringing them back to his house, killing them, taking pictures, like f***ing them. I mean, I shouldn't be saying that word on YouTube. But yeah, and then he starts like eating them as well.
Wow.
But yeah, this not really a documentary, but this sort of fictionalized thing, it's getting a lot of heat in the press, like Daughters of Jeffrey Dahmer victim having nightmares since Netflix shows. Like, don't watch it. Where is Jeffrey Dahmer's brother? Don't care about that, but Jeffrey Dahmer's Halloween costumes are hurtful to victims' families. I would have thought, having their their sons murdered and etc. would be more hurtful, but he got away from Dahmer, but Tracy Edwards couldn't escape the trauma. Yeah, there's a guy that managed to get away. But like, the whole thing around the story as well is about how like the police are like ignoring a lot of stuff because they think it's just gay stuff. There's one time where he was like, he used to drill holes in his victims' heads and pour like acid in, trying to lobotomize them so that they'd be in a zombified state, so that they would. Yeah, and like one of these kids managed to like escape. Some like neighbor girls found him, like couldn't talk or whatever, and they called the police. And then Jeffrey Dahmer convinces the police that it's his boyfriend, and then these policemen like just let him like take him back into Jeffrey Dahmer's flat, and then leave. And then they're like making jokes on the radio about how they need to get deloused now because they've like been around homosexual people. And then there's the other element of them is being in like a poor black neighborhood. So it's basically like the police are ignoring it because it's gay and black, and yeah, there's that whole element to things. That seems to be why he got away with it for so long, is the police just didn't give a shit.
Damn, that's awful.
Yeah, he killed 17 people.
So does that the bottomizing thing work? Do you know?
Oh, it never worked. He had this altar that he was building as well. That he was planning to build an altar of like skulls. Oh, this is another funny thing. He used to like watch The Exorcist before doing this, and he also really, what's the word when you identified? He really identified with Palpatine from Star Wars.
Oh fuck!
And he would even wear like yellow contact lenses to look like Palpatine.
He must have been hyped. He must have been the only one that liked when he came back in those films.
Oh, I'm afraid the deflector shield will be quite operational when the police arrive.
Oh, fucking hell. Unbelievable.
It's a good series. I mean, there's some things that they fictionalize and take a bit of liberties with. Like they made out like John Wayne Gacy being a Christian, that Dahmer saw that on telly and then became a Christian suddenly, but that's not what happened in real life. But
Was he actually white though, or was like a Chinese looking fella that they've recast, or like,
no, it was the guy who played. It was the guy that played the fast guy from X-Men, Quicksilver.
Oh, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh shit! I can see it now. Fuck! Yeah, that's him.
I didn't realize
shit.
until like I'd watched the whole thing and I looked it up.
Yeah, I can. That's
Evan Peters,
son of Magneto. Fucking hell. Yeah.
He always looked like a Roman.
Shit. I'm never gonna be able to watch the new X-Men movies the same way. Fucking hell.
He's very good as Jeff.
Right. Shall we move on to exploding Doritos?
Turn that frown upside down.
Yeah, he's crashing this plane with no survivors.
So what's this guy's name? How'd you say it?
I don't. Surovikin.
Which is like, it's like Simon Suffer, isn't it, or something like that? It's like something really cartoonishly like
strict.
Strict. There you go.
Surovi
Yeah.
means strict.
Simon Strict.
It's like a caricature
Simon the
of a
Strict.
name.
Simon the Strict. Simon says, "Get into your bomb shelter." So, following the Ukrainian counteroffensive, where that's credible courage to Ukrainians did manage to recapture a couple of settlements with certain significance or importance in the theater of war, notably Lehman, but also some other ones. And notably, they didn't make any progress in the Kherson region, which is where they originally said the counteroffensive would take place. They made no progress there, so then they said, well, actually, that was a feint. So the Russians decided to mobilize 300,000 men who already had combat experience. It has to be said. So this isn't just like they're taking students and they're taking complete randos. They actually are taking people who have completed military training, so that to get them up to speed, it wouldn't take that long. In the number of among the people they mobilized, as for instance Nikolai Valuev, the boxer with an absolutely impressive brow ridge. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. So Russia decided to mobilize, and they also decided to replace the guy in charge of the special military operation with Mr. Surovikin over here, who is also known for who's actually, it's not his first theater of war. He is previously known for being very important in the liberation of a certain Syrian city, a city that I believe is very dear to Gary Johnson. The city known as Aleppo.
What's Aleppo?
He, depending on which side you supported in the conflict, he either liberated Aleppo or destroyed Aleppo, because he basically drove the rebels out in quite a brutal fashion, using a lot of airstrikes. Right, he's very well known for his airstrikes, as we've seen in the last couple of days, because the segues really nicely into the fact that he's been basically progressively bombing tons of Ukrainian infrastructure. He's basically, there's constant power interruptions in Ukraine. He's been, I don't want to say carpet bombing, but he has been taking out, well, with minimal civilian casualties, it has to be said. He has been taking out key bits of Ukrainian infrastructure to do with energy. Right now, Ukraine looks like we'll have a gas shortage because out of the, I think, 18 million cubic liters of gas, they only have 14 million. So it looks like they are facing a gas shortage for winter, because he's bombing critical energy infrastructure. And on top of that, he's also erasing their air defenses by doing saturation fire. He's sending so much shit at the air defenses, they're struggling to take most of it down. And as a result, the bits that do get through take down the air defenses, which in turn makes it easier for the next wave of missiles to get through. And in doing so, he's been helping himself with a certain Iranian triangular-shaped drone, lovingly nicknamed the Dorrito, which is the Geran 2 or the Shahed 136. The Shahed 136 has been a new drone that the Russians have purchased from the Iranians, and it costs staggeringly little. It costs, well, in relative terms, it costs about $20,000 to make. You might think it's a lot, but it's actually very, very little compared to what a cruise missile costs. A cruise missile is about $2 million, right? So these things are incredibly cheap, incredibly easy to produce, and in a way they are lawnmowers, flying lawnmowers packed with explosive. They make a certain brr sound when they fly. So there are a lot of memes on Russian Telegram channels, like, you know, people in Kiev being like, when it's 3 a.m. Sorry, when your neighbor's mowing the lawn, but then you realize it's 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning. So they're making all these kinds of memes. Because yeah, these drones are cheap, they're plentiful. They fly really, really low, so it's actually incredibly difficult to intercept them, right? If something's flying high in the air, like a long range missile, you have a bigger chance of intercepting it. Whereas if something's coming really close to the ground, like one of these drones, yeah, they're almost reminiscent of the V1 flying bombs, right? They're kind of hard to intercept, and because there's so many of them, they basically clog up the anti-air defenses. So even if like 50% of them are shot down, which is what Ukraine is claiming at the moment, it doesn't matter. The other 50% will get through, and you are going to see a lot of damage being done by the trusty Dorito of the Russian army. So yeah, so it's been causing Ukrainians a lot of difficulty. These protracted bombing campaigns by Russia aim to basically take out air defense and energy and communications infrastructure. And when that's done, it's not inconceivable that Russia will invade Ukraine through Belarus, because they've been accumulating forces there. Key strategic allies of Russia, most of the key strategic allies of Russia, or all in fact, like China and Brazil, have basically told all their people to get out of Ukraine, get out of Kiev, because they're expecting that maybe not immediately, but perhaps in November, perhaps in December, perhaps maybe even, you know, in March, April, when the snow melts, the Russians will resume offensive maneuvers, and they will be attempting to take Kiev. So season 2 of the war has officially started. I hope you enjoyed season 1. The blowing up of the bridge would be the season finale of season 1, and now season 2 is about to begin. Main character, Mr. Surovikin, right there. I think someone should Photoshop a Bane mask on him.
Yeah,
like
he's
crushing this plane.
He is like a cartoon, isn't he?
Yeah.
They've got to put JP in charge. Get him with one of these jackets.
Doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan. No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
Yeah, I saw that clip. Army General asked for the enemies of Russia this morning does not start with coffee.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. That's like an 80s. That's like an 80s catchphrase, isn't it?
Yeah,
Action film catchphrase.
Let's talk about something important.
Yeah.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only. You think I'm fucking with you? I am not fucking with you.
Bang! The gun went off.
Damn.
It just went off in my hand.
Always be closing.
Great movie.
I need to watch that actually. Yeah.
But yeah,
I've only seen that once.
There's a summary of the.
And it sticks in you. I think it's like a play. I think that's why it's like so like.
Yeah, it is. It's actually a play. Yeah. So the movie is an adaptation of the play.
That's why you have this great
That's correct.
script.
It's meant to be like a spiritual successor to Death of a Salesman, but because there's so much swearing in it, it's been dubbed Death of a Fucking Salesman. Because I think it holds a number of records for most swear words as well as most swear words per minute.
This meme was just a little physiognomy check on our general here. When you're pit mommy childless hag and there ain't no babies to mourn in the house, let's bomb the Ukrainians. Okay, so this is a nice segue then. If they're attacking the energy structures and the communications, that leads us nicely onto Elon CUCK and his Starlink.
Should we play the video first and then discuss it? Because that video summarizes nicely what happens.
The hell with it. Even though Starlink is still losing money and other companies are getting billions of taxpayer dollars, we'll just keep funding Ukraine government for free.
In other words, you will continue your support for the U.S. proxy war in Ukraine despite your better knowledge that this is a U.S. proxy war and the risk of a nuclear war because of the U.S. proxy war, and we are supposed to believe that you will fix Twitter? How utterly disappointing.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So, guess I'm just damned.
I love you, E. You know that. Many people look up to you. I believe in you. We are facing nuclear war because of reckless U.S. foreign policy in Ukraine. You know that. This is a big one. We have to put our personal interests aside for the sake of humanity. I know you love humanity.
I'm trying my hardest to de-escalate this situation and obviously failing.
There you go. That's your YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
Whilst everyone's waiting for the next episode.
That's the best
thing. Since the start of the war, Elon Musk has been supplying Ukrainians with access to Starlink, which is a global communications system reliant on satellites, and actually has been quite effective. And the Russians are struggling to jam it. They are making attempts to jam it, but they're struggling. But the problem is, operational costs of Starlink are in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And Elon, there's no such thing as a free lunch. And so after Elon suggested that perhaps Ukraine and Russia should negotiate, he's been told to fuck off by the by the people in charge of Ukraine. And so he said, okay, well, in that case, no Starlink for you. And maybe if Pentagon really wants you to have Starlink, they can pay for it themselves. So then Ukraine decided to put Elon on a very special list, where they put people they don't really like. And people who are on that list tend to get, quote unquote, liquidated or dispatched, as one would say. And long story short, here's Elon Musk staring in disbelief at the idea that he's just been made public enemy #1 of Ukraine. And perhaps he didn't want a truck full of explosives to park anywhere near Tesla headquarters. And so perhaps prudently he said, all right, well, you can have Starlink.
I mean, you already proved that those Tesla trucks can't even take a tennis ball, so...
I thought
Cybertruck full of explosives.
I thought Starlink was a My Little Pony convention. I've been very confused.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good segue for the next slide, but we've still got more to say.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. So the top left meme is Melania Podolyak, one of the I don't know, your thoughts, saying, "Baby, it's time for my free Starlink," and then yes, honey. And yeah, I guess if you want to find out more about this list of people that Ukraine keeps, Google the Mirotvorets list.
How do I get on that?
Where I don't think you want to get on that.
You're already on China's list, mate.
I know. I feel like I need to, I feel like I need to keep up with the times. No one cares about Taiwan. Enemies. No one's talking about Taiwan anymore.
Yeah.
I backed the wrong fake country.
Yeah. So it looks like Ukraine will be getting, although I did hear something this evening that Pentagon is thinking of funding, starting themselves. So it looks like Elon may very well, get his way.
He loves siphoning off those tax dollars.
To be fair, without the war, there wouldn't be any tax dollars to siphon off. But yeah.
Oh no, but I mean, like his company now takes what's the word? When the government gives you money.
Grants.
Yeah, he takes government
handouts
grants to fund his
welfare,
quote unquote, green cars, from which the profits he uses to.
It's actually just blended dollars, isn't it? And it's all run on blended dollars. That's why it's called green.
How you combat inflation? You burn the dollars in gigantic furnaces in Tesla HQ.
Hey, do you want to say that line again about the brony, about the Sorry. Say that line again, and then I'll edit out there and put it in here, and then it makes good segue to the next one.
Yeah, I just always thought Starlink was just a My Little Pony convention.
Oh, that's a nice little segue, because we got Chris Chan on the next page.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so this Kanye gone west.
What is it with horizontal red and blue stripes? Why? Who?
Exactly.
Maybe it is a secret symbol. Do you reckon if I sport one of these, I'm gonna get approached by like random people giving me secret handshakes?
Yeah,
yeah.
Why
would
your
the inside of your hand?
Why would your secret symbol be obvious?
Well, no, it's not. It's only like.
Yeah.
It's not that obvious, right? I don't know. Maybe.
No, that's the thing. The handshake's really obvious. That the striped rugby top is pretty low key, isn't it?
I see. But yeah, I really do like Kanye West doing a Chris Chan cosplay. That's quite inventive.
Did he actually escape in the end?
Who?
Chris Chan or Kanye?
Chris Chan.
He's still in custody.
People said that he got out of the courtroom, right, and climbed out the bathroom window.
No, you're thinking of Ted Bundy.
Oh, but yeah, okay.
You're thinking of Ted Bundy.
Yeah. Do you want to say? Maybe we can't say what. Can we say what Kanye did?
Maybe not. I don't know.
He got kicked off Twitter for pissing off a specific group of people.
I will keep quiet.
He's buying Parler, which I think just shows he's lost it, I guess.
He did wear he teamed up with Candace Owens to wear a t-shirt that's been criticised widely. Yeah, it's not something you hear every day. He's teamed up with Candace Owens.
Oh, he says he and Musk should be in the next presidential race.
Yeah, I like that meme where it's like I'm assembling a team and it's got a picture of Mel Gibson, Trump, Kanye, and like Tucker or something like that.
David Icke.
But he what's it called? Kanye also insinuated that Diddy is a Fed, which would be incredible. He
is always glowing and all that white.
Anyway, hopefully just mention
Kanye all the best. Career plans.
Okay, this is my attempt at making a video.
If you had to U-turn on a major part of your mini budget, would you have to consider your position as Chancellor?
What was with this journalist? He sounds like that fucking, you know, the guy from like the Day to Day. Just a lot of like Alan Partridge things. That guy, and he plays the BBC commissioner.
Daniel Hanrahan.
No, what's he called?
But yeah,
he's like, give me a second series, you shit. That guy. He sounds like him, but like with like. Listen to the guy again.
If you had to U-turn on a major part of your mini budget.
If you had to U-turn on your mini budget.
If you had to U-turn.
would you have to consider your position as Chancellor?
I'm totally focused on the growth agenda, Faisal. I'm totally focused on making sure that people are helped with their energy bills, that the energy price guarantee is understood, that the scale of our intervention,
why does he sound like Boris Johnson?
State is understood, and that we can actually deliver this country.
You close your eyes, it's Boris Johnson.
Get us on a trajectory to growing the economy. So
but if you close your eyes,
was it just a bit? Was it just a bit? Just to
these are global challenges.
Trust his team.
People
Boris.
from the IMF, World Bank, the G7,
Black Boris.
all of these officials and ministers are tackling
Black
the same
Boris.
But can you acknowledge what is the consensus in the market?
What's the consensus?
Which is that there are specific factors at work at the UK following your mini budgets.
What I am going to acknowledge is the fact that it is a very dicey situation globally. That's what people are saying to me. The people are saying that
there's nothing specific
we understand.
Going on with the UK.
Look, there was some turbulence. I'm frankly enough to accept that.
Okay.
After the,
Dicey is a great word.
I'm sitting here talking about the global challenges. Everybody is focused on inflation. Everybody's affected by potential interest rate rises. Everybody's affected by the energy price spikes, which have been exacerbated.
I don't think the rich are affected.
So everybody across the global financial community is really focusing on the same problems.
And you'll be Chancellor and Liz Truss will be Prime Minister this time next month?
Absolutely, 100%. I'm not going anywhere.
Sad trombone. Pull one out for my man, Kwarteng.
How long did he last? Like 3 weeks? Maybe a little longer.
He outlasted the second. No, he outlasted the shortest person time that someone spent in office by a day, but that person had died.
Oh, God.
Oh no, sorry, no. He didn't beat him. Actually, he's actually the least longest serving chancellor, and the other guy at least died upon leaving office rather than.
Who was the shortest serving chancellor in British history? Let's have a look. Mr. Kwarteng has left the office of chancellor after only 38 days in office, but he's missed the record because the record for shortest ever serving chancellor belongs to Conservative MP Ian MacLeod, who only served in office for 30 days before passing away in 1970. So you're right, Elliot. You're right.
Yeah.
Player number 3.
Okay, last story. It's another video.
No. Oh, he tried it.
Do you guys think that Elon Musk has made like a George Lucas kind of so you know that the story behind prequels and the original trilogy. So the story goes with George Lucas is that when he was making the original trilogy, he still wasn't like a household name. He still wasn't, that big. And so he had a lot of people around him who would give him constructive criticism, give him feedback, sometimes harsh criticism. And that's in a way what led to the original trilogy being so great.
Right.
Whereas with prequels, his word was sacred in a way, right? So no one dared criticize him because he was George Lucas and he had a free reign. His ideas were completely uncriticized, and that's why the prequels are the way they are. Which I was gonna say is still better than the sequel trilogy, but that's a segue, tangent rather. And so, do you think something similar happened with Mark Zuckerberg, right? When he was making Facebook, he had all those controversies, all those court cases. He had Justin Timberlake in a movie. He had, trials. He had people around him. He had a constant stream of criticism that kind of hardened him. That kind of made Facebook as good as it is today. But then, he became Mark Zuckerberg, a household name. No one would dare criticize the idea. So one day he just came to the office and basically said, how about we make Second Life and then charge people shit tons of money to use it? And everyone was like, "It's a great idea, Mr. Zuckerberg. Completely support it, 100%." And then it ends up like Homer Simpson designing a car. I don't know if you've seen that episode of The
Yeah.
Simpsons. Yeah. Where it's just complete shit. It tanks the company stock price, and then people just don't know what to do, right? I mean, couple that to the fact of that what's it called? That Zoomers are apparently not using Facebook at all. So literally, Facebook is just becoming a place where player number 2 and boomers argue over politics, but whilst rehashing Ben Shapiro takes.
One day, there'll be more dead people accounts than live people accounts.
So you're saying they're going to be like Democrat voters? Freest and fairest elections, Susan.
Yeah, and this is even with the boost he surely should have got from appearing on Rogan a few months ago.
No, I don't even remember. I don't remember anything from that. Like, from that one. Was there anything memorable?
I just remember Joe Rogan.
It did just kind of.
Yeah, I just remember Joe Rogan asking him a question like, "So tell me about how this works," and then he'd spend like 10 minutes not answering that question. It's like you're not.
No, didn't they just outright admit that they'd like influence stuff?
Yeah, they hid the laptop story.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
I mean, I can see why.
Deranked it. Sorry, deranked it.
Yeah, I can see why you would need some sort of algorithmic thing to make sure your feed's not full of crap. But when it always ends up going one way politically, that's the worry. Like, or even just give the people the option.
Yeah.
If you're saying that if I have it just chronologically my timeline, let me turn on that feature and see what it looks like, because then I'd go, oh yeah, this is a shit experience. I'm going to turn the algorithm back on. But then they don't even do that.
You'll be begging to come back to the algorithm.
But yeah, there was one point where he was talking about like the glasses, like that they're going to have in the future. They're going to, just be like a normal pair of glasses you put on. They're using waveguide technology. And then Joe Rogan asked, "Oh, what's waveguide technology?" And then he doesn't say what waveguide technology is. He just explains what the thing's going to do. Like, he has absolutely no technical knowledge of anything relevant, it seems. He's just,
just gone mad.
Yeah, which kind of makes you think, is he really in charge of his own company? Well, he obviously is, since he's still, going through with the horrific metaverse project.
Yeah, silly. I mean, he shouldn't have just made it part. Is it supposed to be like part of Facebook or what?
It's like a separate thing, but it will obviously, they'll all be connected, aren't they? They just connect all their own things together.
Yeah.
But this is the next big one. They changed the name to reflect this one.
They changed it. Yeah.
The first time I double dropped acid, I had like these horrible. I was listening to this is before I paid for YouTube, and then the ads would come on. So I listened to music, and then an ad would come on, and then while I'm tripping, like all these fucking like physical ads just pop into my vision, and I'm just like, oh god, this is the future, isn't it?
Well,
that's how they got you.
You see, myself and Player 3 use YouTube Advanced as the app of choice, and I honestly have not seen a YouTube ad since 2018 at this point. Like, people will talk about how annoying YouTube ads are, and like making references. The worst thing is when they make references to the ads, and I'm just like, I'm not getting the reference. Sorry, I have not seen any of these ads you're talking about.
Okay. Next time on Memery Hall. Some more. Buy now, pay later at Domino's. Pay back over 6 weeks.
Love it. Getting a mortgage to buy a pizza.
How do we do next? How do we do next week now? How do we know what's coming next week?
Well, we don't. This was I was just going to do this sort of next time thing, and then there was a show where it's Arrested Development, where they say like next time on Arrested Development, and it's never what's next time. It's kind of just what would have happened if that episode continued, but then it doesn't follow on. I was kind of going for that vibe. But now we've spelled it out for the listeners. That it'll have the same impact.
I needed it though. I personally needed it, so it was the right thing.
It's been nearly a year. It's been more than a year since somehow I dropped the Anthony Fontana diss track. And Anthony Fontana's been real quiet since it dropped.
It's like a mortgage for a pizza now. Pay over 6 weeks.
Japan chooses to exclude sex workers from leave compensation program during pandemic, citing them as unworthy of receiving public funds. Based. Yeah, the red light district here in Fukuoka, a lot of the businesses shut down. Hopefully not the Nazi one though, because I need to go check that out.
Do not take that one out of context.
SSEEXX.
Yeah, Yahtzee one.
Okay, well, I like the new format. I think it works well. Let us know in the comments what you think of the new format. And like and subscribe. Hit that bell.
End.